Hello everyone and welcome back to Xbox Nation. My name is Fletcher and this is the video where we're going to take a look at the upcoming Xbox and Game Pass games for this week and see if any of them are actually worth your time and or money. It's looking like a pretty good week again for Xbox, including a massive title coming to Game Pass, and that's alongside a couple of AA games that you won't want to miss. Remember to keep an eye out for their Game Pass icons so you know which ones are coming to the service, and let's just dive right into it. First up, we have been seeing a ton of support lately for Age of Wonders 4, and especially well past its release dates. Believe it or not, we are now on year 3 of new content, with a brand new expansion pass offering up multiple expansions and minor DLC. One of those coming to the Fantasy 4X strategy game is Rise from Ruin, and it lands onto Xbox this week on the 9th of March. This expansion features a brand new culture, physical form, environmental challenges, and a nomadic playstyle for those who need a unique campaign to run next. I'm personally really looking forward to a new culture called the Nomads, of course, and seeing them in action from the small snippets, they look pretty awesome. This is the third major content update now, and I know fans of this series are pretty hyped to see it come for this week. It does feel as though that we're getting a brand new simulator every week now, and I honestly wonder if they'll ever run out of ideas. That said, the next one arriving is Construction Simulator, and is landing onto Game Pass on the 10th. In this game, you step into the boots of a young builder who's proven himself worthy of taking over his mentor's construction company as he retires. From there, it's all about growing your own business and tackling bigger projects. What's interesting is that this one is less about walking around construction sites and more about operating heavy machinery. You will spend most of your time inside vehicles like cranes, excavators, and cement trucks rather than doing the groundwork yourself. It strikes a real good balance between being a little bit goofy while still taking that simulation rather seriously. Reviews on this have been pretty positive overall, so it clearly does have its fans, but for me personally, I'll probably skip with this one, but I'll be keen to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Xbox Game Pass really isn't going to slow down this year, and the lineup just keeps getting stronger and stronger every time I look at it. One of the biggest additions arriving this week though is Cyberpunk 2077, which finally gives subscribers the chance to experience Night City without needing to pick it up at a separate purchase. It's wild to think how far this game has really come since its original launch though. CD Projekt Red have spent years rebuilding and improving the experience with major patches, gameplay changes, and new content, and the result is a completely different game from what I played all the way back in 2020. The city itself is one of the most impressive open worlds in all of gaming, packed with so many stories, choices, chaotic shootouts, and high-speed chases. If you've been waiting for the right moment to jump in, this is easily it. With everything that's been added and improved, Cyberpunk 2077 now feels like the game it was always meant to be. One game that I feel is being quite slept on massively is John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. I think many are kind of writing this one off as just another zombie shooter, but I'm telling you right now, this is more than that on just a service level. This is coming from Saber, the same devs behind World War Z and Space Marine 2, so you know it's immediately going to be good. It is also immediately apparent that this game is from this developer, as you can expect large swarms of zombies coming towards you, and then you get to take them on with some insane weapons. There is even the add-on of vehicles, which looks like a sort of Mud Runner inspiration, and coming from the same dev team, I'm not really surprised to see this looking pretty incredible. The demo has been out over on PC for a little while, and you can see the reviews are fairly positive, and the devs have already been implementing quite a lot of changes from the feedback. I totally expect we will see a ton of content down the line, and for £35 that seems like a bloody bargain. I am playing this currently, and my review will be live on the 11th, so do stay tuned with a subscription down below, especially as over 67% of you are not subscribed, and I would just love for you to join our incredible and growing Xbox community. Greedfall 2: The Dying World is still expected to arrive this week, and it looks like a much more ambitious step forward for this entire series. This time the story is shifting perspectives, placing you in the role of a native islander, taken to the mainland and then thrown into a world of political manipulation, colonial conflict, and strange supernatural forces. The core third-person RPG structure will return here, but the systems so far appear way deeper across the board. Diplomacy, stealth, and party-based combat are all going to be expanded, while player choices seem to have a bigger impact on how events unfold. Early access feedback has also praised the richer world building and the more tactical combat system, which now includes real-time battles with the option to pause and plan your moves. With the situation around publisher Nacon recently raising some concerns, hopefully it's going to be a good game, and do expect my review on this one next week as well. Japanese horror is having a serious resurgence on Xbox lately, and I bloody love it. Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly is a huge part of that resurgence, and I totally expect it to do incredibly well on its release. Koei Tecmo confirmed last year that his fan favourite entry in the Fatal Frame series, also known as Project Zero, was getting a full remake, and it's now almost here as it lands onto our consoles on the 12th. This isn't going to be a light remaster either. The developers are calling it a complete rebuild, touching everything from visuals and sound design to controls and core gameplay systems. While we don't have a lot of info or a massive ton of gameplay in the wild at the moment, I totally expect it to do phenomenally well. With titles like Silent Hill F and Resident Evil Requiem, which have done incredibly well, it genuinely feels like Xbox players are about to be spoiled with high quality Japanese horror, and I'm absolutely here for it. There is also a very big addition to the Xbox Game Pass Premium tier this week, as Hollow Knight Silksong is landing for all of you on that tier, and it's honestly one that barely needs an introduction these days. It's been one of the most anticipated indie releases of the past few years, and when it finally launched, it absolutely did live up to that hype. If you somehow missed it, Silksong is a gorgeous Metroidvania that follows Hornet as she journeys through a mysterious new kingdom that's ruled by Silken Song. The game really did build on everything that people loved about the original Hollow Knight, but with faster movement, improved parkour, and even more challenging combat. The boss fights in particular are utterly fantastic, packed with so many creative enemy designs and tough encounters that'll definitely test your skills. Team Cherry really did deliver a worthy follow-up here, and it will arrive on the 12th for Premium, but you can still play it right now via Ultimate and PC. I'll be perfectly honest with you, wrestling games really aren't my thing, so WWE 2K26 isn't exactly high on my personal list today. That said, I know the series has a very huge fan base, and the newest entry is right around the corner with a launch date of the 12th of March. From what I've seen in previews, it does look like the developers have made a few improvements this year, and the reviews that have just been released across the board while I'm recording this video today look utterly impressive. The My Superstar Builder is getting expanded customization options, including photo face feature and a range of new taunts and emotes to help shape your wrestler exactly how you want. There are also some massive changes to the island mode which has been detailed, which has a great new addition of a new PvE mode called Towers. To be honest, I might not actually fully understand the appeal of this one, but if you're a wrestling fan, this looks like another solid entry into the series, and one that's totally worth grabbing upon its launch. RoadOut is landing on the 12th of March as well, and this is a story-driven action-adventure game that combines top-down action RPG elements with rubber-burning driving mechanics. We will get to explore a vast post-apocalyptic world in your car, then battle your way through puzzle-filled dungeons on foot. Apparently this one has inspirations from the likes of Legend of Zelda, GTA, and Rock'n'Roll Racing, and to me that sounds baffling but absolutely insane at the same time. It is said that RoadOut will have a rich story full of surprises, missions, and rip-roaring races, and I'm really intrigued by what the devs are going to be proving here. I think some of you may be put off by that pixel art style, and I know it's not going to be for everyone, but the scale that they're going for with this game is pretty mental, to be honest. I hope it does well, and I would be keen to hear your thoughts on this one in the comments below. The return of Monster Hunter Stories was definitely not something many people had on their radar, but Capcom surprised us all when they revealed Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection last year. After a very long break for the spin-off series, it's finally coming back with a brand new chapter, and the big news is that all of us Xbox players will be included from day one when it launches this week on the 13th. This time the story is said to be slightly darker in its direction, centering around a mysterious crystal outbreak that's spreading across the world. You will step into the role of Azuria's heir, and you'll be setting out to uncover the truth behind a growing disaster. From what I've seen so far, the visuals look way sharper than the original two. Of course, it's got the current generation of hardware behind it, but the overall presentation feels way more ambitious than we saw with the previous two entries. It's great to see this series finally making a proper return, especially with Xbox finally part of their launch plans. It is also worth mentioning, because I did actually see the news being covered as of today, that Assassin's Creed Unity is getting a massive 60 FPS update on our Xbox Series consoles. Obviously this one was already 60 FPS via backwards compatibility with FPS boost, but now we have a native port as well. There hasn't been any details about whether that means the native sort of picture quality will be up-resed at all. Hopefully it is. I don't really want to see the 900p aspect, but hey, it's always a nice addition to have to the Xbox library if you haven't played it already. Of course this one is free, and it's great to see Ubisoft revisiting their old back catalogue. There was a very big surprise addition that wasn't highlighted in the usual Xbox Game Pass announcements a few days back, and I only just actually managed to mention it in my Game Pass video a couple of days ago. Minishoot Adventures has just shadow dropped onto Xbox Game Pass, and this is a hugely well received indie title that originally launched in PC in 2024, and it really quickly built up a cult following. The game blends a few different genres together in a really clever way. At its core though, it's going to be a twin stick shooter, but it also has elements of a Metroidvania-style exploration, and even some bullet hell elements thrown into the mix. You will be piloting a tiny spacecraft through a handcrafted world filled with loads of winding caves, enemy swarms, upgrades, and just plenty of hidden secrets to uncover. The best part is that you can jump into it right now. It's available right now with Game Pass Ultimate, Premium, and PC. I would be keen to see if any of you have managed to play this one since it landed. Do let me know down below. Do subscribe as well for more Xbox content on a daily basis, and like this video if you did enjoy. Make sure you also check out the video on the screen now if you want to check out my Planet of Lana 2 review and see why I stated that this is a must-play stunning adventure on your Xbox Game Pass subscription.